That Little Gay Talk Show with Joel Tatum and Charlotte Shotguns. Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Hey. Welcome to another episode of That Little Gay Talk Show with your host, Joel Tatum. And sitting in Charlotte Shotgun's chair is Julio Briseño.
Hello.
Y'all have heard his voice before.
Hey.
He is like my backup guest host when I need a backup guest host.
How you doing?
Because Charlotte is so busy these days.
Okay.
She's so busy. You know, she's doing her Bitch Boy Undies full time now.
Yes. I saw that. She posted on social media about that.
So she's very thrilled about that and everything else. I'm
loving it.
very proud of her.
Hell yeah.
And
so I'm seeing also a lot of her pop-ups that she's doing. That's exciting. Her events are definitely unique. I remember we discussed it. We were the first place they did it at in Houston, and that's what started setting the roll. That's what started getting the ball rolling for her, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
And doing an event at bars, which has been successful for her. Fuck yeah.
Exactly. So everything, she has just been a workhorse, which
comes with the territory.
But at the same time, I'm a little saddened because I don't get to see her that often. She's always busy now.
I'm here for you, Daddy, if you need me.
So we love you, Charlotte. And I would just want to let the audience know that, you know, let's be honest, because she's so busy, she might be on here a little less and less.
Okay. She's an entrepreneur.
She's an entrepreneur. She's out there doing stuff. But don't worry, y'all going to hear her.
Period.
Yeah, y'all going to hear her.
One way or the other.
One way or the other. But Julio will always be sitting in my chair.
He
can sit in my lap, too, y'all.
I always wanted these shows, and then you did like the last one without anybody, and I texted you like
the last
right
two.
Away. Yeah, I texted like, why did you not tell me?
I know, he was upset, y'all.
Why did you not tell me? And he's like, I did. I messaged you. I was like, no, sweetheart. I have the receipts. You didn't say shit to me.
No, I didn't say I messaged you. I just thought you were busy with other stuff. You have a life.
Okay, all of a sudden
you have
act
a
like
life.
You don't know me no more. Like we're brand new in this friendship.
Okay. Well, Charlotte,
what you not gonna do?
Well, Charlotte canceled on me on the last minute, and I thought you had better stuff to do.
True, because I remember I texted you like the day before. I was like, hey, I'm about to go to the river in Austin.
No, that was last week, but the week before that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the week before that.
What did I do?
She canceled me on the same day. So I figured that you had other stuff to do.
What emergency did her roommate have this time?
No. We're not going to do that. No shade.
No shade, Charlotte, if you're listening.
No shade. But, you know, and I hope her roommate is better.
Of course.
Yes. So, but, you know, he's old, girl.
That bitch is a hot mess.
He is old.
Express.
I know he is old, but we don't want to discuss too much.
Okay,
that's
all I'm going to say. If it wasn't for Charlotte, at times
that's her business, not ours.
Would be R.I.P. at this point.
Well, it's Pride Month. It is Pride Month, and you saw me. I put out my Summer Pride.
Yes, you did.
Promotion. You know I'm going to be doing that all summer long, right up until we actually have a Pride Festival sometime in the fall.
I didn't even think about making you a Pride promo. Like it just now hit me. Like literally.
No, we did a photo shoot.
Nice.
I paid Jonathan. We did a photo shoot a few weeks ago. So we had all that stuff done. I still have some other photos, and I'm going to do some. I'm still working on merchandise for the show.
Did he do that banner for you?
Yeah, he did. We both kind of collaborated on the banner, but he did most of the work, and then I just told him where to put things and which pictures to use. And you know, there are a couple of people that I left out that I did not realize I left out. So the beautiful thing is that
was I in there?
Yes, of course you were in there,
Bitch,
Julio.
I was about to throw this drink.
Oh
at
my
you.
God, Julio!
I was about to
yes,
lean across the table and be like,
you were the first picture I put in because I'm like, you know what? If I don't put his picture in there, this bitch is gonna be upset.
Right?
So
angry. Belligerent. I'm gonna come in
exactly.
Here, hit your fucking walls with the bat. Where's my picture?
Your picture was even before Blackberries, and that should have been the main picture.
By the way, happy birthday, Darius. It's his birthday today.
Yes, happy birthday, Darius. Happy birthday
out there, babe.
If you're out there listening, happy birthday.
One of Houston's best drag queens. Houston,
Texas.
Oh
my God, she's on the cover of Outsmart.
Yes.
Outsmart magazine. So proud of her.
Definitely
did a national commercial for Facebook.
She's one of the queens that I genuinely respect, and I love her hustle, her work ethic, her branding, her promotion. just one of those queens that has just all figured out.
And she had time to stop by this little tiny show and sit down and talk with us, and she was so much fun. We had such a good time.
She had nothing better to do.
We had such a
the shade. The shade. She had nothing better to do.
She had nothing better to do. It was a slow day, and she's like, "Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? I mean,
let me help them out."
Well, like I said, of course you could always listen to that episode on our Spreaker. Or you can use Spotify or whatever, but you can always
Spotify. I use
iHeart, Spotify, Pandora.
I use a podcast app on my iPhone to listen to yours,
Yes.
which is on there.
Yes,
And then you can also listen to it on Out and Proud Live.
Out and Proud Live. Yes, you can if you. And there's a special thing with Out and Proud Live, so I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Did you ever tell your listeners how that came about?
No, I did not. We
Tell
could talk
them.
about.
Yeah, that's history right there.
I
for
mean,
the show.
you're the one who set it up.
Low key, I'm a part-time manager for the show.
He's like my agent, y'all. He just gets.
I just walk in here.
He gets stuff done, and he tells me, "Why haven't you done this, and this?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, okay." I didn't realize I had to do that.
Nice. So I remember Easton Santos had just launched his radio app, Out and Proud Live, and it had been out for a few weeks, and then I've been doing a few podcasts with you guys. We've had you at Buddies and so forth. And one day I was out and about, and it was one of those light bulb moments where it clicked in my head. I said, "Wait a minute," because I'm one of those people that and the way my mind works is I connect people, places, and things together. If I know they work well, they jive well, like I will, if it's within my power, I will facilitate and make it happen for. So I remember when I saw Easton that night, he was out hanging out with friends, and I went out and I just kind of posted.
He hadn't had that app actually wasn't out yet. He was still working on the.
He was? Okay.
Yeah, he was still working on the idea and getting everything done.
The app was out, but the show wasn't on there yet. Because I remember that night, I got a notification on my Apple iWatch from his show, something about, "Hey, tune into whatever," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And so I tuned into it, and I noticed that you can control it from your watch. So I talked to him about that feature, and that's where the conversation initiated. Because he's like, "You know how much people gave me shit for that?" Blah, blah, blah. And then you come out and tell me you love it. I was like, "Yeah, because I can control it from my freaking watch as I'm driving. I don't have to look down. I don't have to be distracted."
Yeah.
But I remember seeing him, and I told him, "Hey, I have an idea." And I threw the idea at him first, see what he would think. And I said, "I know these guys that do a podcast. They do it here on once a month, whatnot, at Buddies. Are within your platform? Are you looking to have podcast people or do your own podcast?" Well, he's like, "Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I am." And as a matter of fact, I've been listening to that little gay talk show, and I listened to it on my way from Corpus or something like that. So he told me he was listening to it. He's like, "I was actually going to reach out to them, but now here you are facilitating. Hey, like that's what I do. Here's what I'm here for."
Yeah, that's why he's my manager, y'all.
Right.
He gets stuff done. You know, you are just a bigger part of this show as.
Thank you.
As anybody else here. You have worked hard.
I have.
You did our redesign for the show.
Yes.
You have set up all kinds of. You set up the whole thing with Buddies.
Thank you.
You did the whole thing with Easton.
Tell me more about myself. Go ahead, let the people know.
Exactly. So yeah, you have been. You know what? You gonna go in the credits because you need to go in the credits
for the documentary.
Yes, you need to go in the credits
for documentary coming soon. Stay tuned, folks. Show.
I don't know that much about a documentary, but
that's actually not a bad idea. Now that I'm sitting here, throwing I thought it was being funny at first, but then my creative mind just kind of you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Oh Lord! Now I'm doing a documentary.
That's it, people. We're doing a documentary. I don't care what you say.
Okay, once I get all the equipment down and everything else, we will be broadcasting this on YouTube.
Yes.
And probably Twitch.
And we're in the works of it. I'm already helping you out with that one.
Yeah, so we're in the works. So that will be coming here.
But you know where all
shortly.
That comes from? In my heart, I naturally love to see people grow, succeed. I don't have that jealous or envious bone in my body. And if I know that I have the capability, the know-how to do something that you don't know how to do yet, I jump in and say, "Hey, this is how you do it." Because I'm one of those self-taught people. I'm big on teaching myself to do things that I don't know how to do. And if I can connect with people that know how to do something that I don't know, and they're open to teaching me, I absorb that like a sponge.
You know, I try to do the same thing too. I try to learn as I go because I think I'm always out there looking to learn something new.
Yes.
I'm always looking to learn something new.
You have to. You kind of have to because, living life sometimes gets a little boring. So if you have to fill up your time with something, learning something, doing something. I am one of those people that once I master something or I feel like I've mastered it or I got good at it to where I can do it with my eyes closed, I'll move on to the next one.
Exactly.
So I tend to like abandon, like I'll start them.
Yes, I tend to get bored after that because I tend to get bored and it's like, what do I do now?
That's how I was with photography. Did that for me. I was heavy into photography and I was doing shoots and this and that, and it was the pandemic that made me realize, like, you know what, I did it. I had fun with it. I'll move on.
You know what? I cannot believe I'm saying this, but thank God for the pandemic because, and I say this in the way that you will understand, I got to learn a lot over the summer because it was just me.
Yeah.
I got to figure out what I got my health issues under control thanks to the pandemic.
Nice.
Because I could have been, honestly, when they checked me into the hospital because my blood pressure was so high, I could have been dead from a heart attack. Any day. Literally any day.
We don't want you to die yet.
Yes, exactly. I need to be around for a while.
Please.
That's when I started to really start to center myself and start to really think about I started thinking about my mental health.
As you should. I've been I always preach to people, like, take care of you first.
Yeah, exactly.
First, second, and third.
I had a lot of time to really think about all the things that I have done for other people and then realize, wait a minute, I put so much effort in there with other people that when it came to myself, I put zero or very little.
That is like the most important thing as a human being. And most people don't realize they need that, but they need to create. That's what you and I were having a conversation. You're like, I don't get how, like, you're a loner. I'm a loner at heart. I can go camp. Like I told you the other day, I went camping by myself, and you're like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude, I had the best time of my life. Enjoyed it to the fullest. I'm one of those people that I'm a self-prescribed I call myself like an ambivert per se. That's where it's like I can be as outgoing and social and blah blah blah.
Omnivert. That's what we talked about that last week.
Is it omnivert or ambivert?
No, I think it's omnivert.
Because the way I understood it, ambivert is both like what's the
an extrovert and an introvert.
Yes,
an extrovert when you need to be, but mostly an introvert.
Yes,
and that's exactly. Seiko and I talked about that. Good guy, girl. We talked about that last week.
You sure did.
Yeah, we sure did. We talked about that last week, and I'm like...
But I just wasn't listening to that part.
But, yeah, so basically, I'm the same way, because I'm like, I'm very much about myself.
Yes.
And which I needed to be.
You have to be.
I realized I needed to be.
That also comes with age, too. The older you get, the less people you need around you, the more self-sufficient you become.
Yeah, exactly. And the less you give a shit. I don't give a fuck.
The art of not giving a shit.
It's wonderful. Oh my God, it's so wonderful not to give a fuck about what other people think of you.
Because it comes off as either cocky or really confident. And depending on the person, sometimes it can come off as too confident. But the art of not giving a fuck is like one of the most self-healing, comfortable places to be at. And some people just don't know how to take that.
Yeah, exactly. Where I had to, like I said, I had to learn how to be myself.
Yes.
How to enjoy myself.
Yes.
As myself.
Correct.
And I realized there are a couple of things that I need to fix.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody
is perfect. And I realized that too. I tried so hard to be what everybody wanted me to be that I had to stop and go, you know what? No, I don't want to do that.
Nobody's perfect.
I don't want to do that. That's too much work.
I call that perfectly imperfect. That's when people say, "Oh, you're so perfect." I'm like, "No, I'm not." Please don't ever direct those words in my. I am perfectly imperfect, is what I tell people. Like, I am just as human as you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm having the same experience as you are, to a certain degree. Like, girl. I can't stand that when or people that act like they're perfect. It's like, girl, I know there's so many insecurities within you already. By the way, I'm a good read of people.
Yeah.
I really am. And this industry teaches you how to read the fuck out of people because that's our job. We learn how to look for the signs, the cues, the microaggressions, whatever the situation. We learn, and
I spent so many years looking at all this stuff, and I'm like. Now I'm at a place where I'm like, you know what?
You know what somebody told me yesterday because of this type of conversation about knowing how to talk to somebody was like, you should be a therapist or a counselor or something of that nature. It's like you give that vibe. And
you have that vibe, by the way.
Honey.
That's why you've helped this show. So you know what? You go into the credits.
Period. And that's on God. And that's on my hood. That's on my mama. That's on everything. I don't know why I'm talking like that. That's my others. That's the whiskey hitting me.
I don't know, but I got hard thinking. When you go thug, I got hard. I don't know why.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah, I think I found my husband.
A brief extended break. Come back tomorrow. So
this is recorded.
Okay.
They have a pre-extended break is like 2 seconds.
Literally.
And we've had hours of sex.
Okay. But I did.
And we're back.
Okay.
We're back. Guys. We're a little sweaty.
How are y'all doing?
I couldn't go again. I'm like, oh God, he wanted to go a fourth time, and I'm like, no, I can't. Girl, I'm old. I can't go a fourth time. No. Good Lord.
So people think I should be a counselor. People, come on, knee slapper.
Okay, knee slap.
Okay.
That was a knee slap right there. Oh, good God. We have such a good time on this show. I swear to God. We have such a good time on this show. We also had a little whiskey. So but we still have a good time on this show.
We're drinking that fine Kentucky bourbon.
I can't believe you're drinking Evan Williams. I thought you were more of a Jack Daniels.
Jack gives me heartburn at times.
Really?
It really does. I don't know what
I like Makers.
Makers is cute.
Makers is cute.
Makers is
I had several of those last night at Buddy's.
Honestly, when it comes when it comes to whiskey, I can drink the cheap shit, like the $2 whiskey, to like the high end.
No, I can't.
And everything in between, because
here's the thing with whiskey for me.
Yes.
Whiskey, the cheap stuff goes in a cocktail. If I want to drink it straight, then I have to upgrade, because I can't drink cheap whiskey. I can't do it. I cannot do it. So I have to upgrade. So, like I said, Maker's Mark is usually my thing, or Bullet. Those are my two favorites when I do drink whiskey. So,
here's my experience with the thing. Sometimes I hang out with friends that can afford my drinks, and sometimes I hang out with friends that can't afford my drinks. That's why my taste is like, give me house to like, oh, you got the money? Okay, give me that shit that I really like to drink. So I've learned to adapt my whiskey taste, and at the end of the day, I'm also one of those drinkers like, it's just fucking whiskey. It still does the same thing for me.
Look, if you can't afford it, and I have the money, I'll pay for it, because I want us to all have a good time together.
You gonna sponsor me, Joe?
Oh, you have helped me with some, girl. Anything you want.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want, girl. I got you.
Y'all heard it here first,
girl. I got you. We literally just talked about having hours of sex. So literally, we will. Girl, I will do anything you.
So I am now sponsored by Joel.
Yes, exactly.
Just throw that out.
Sponsored by That Little Gay Talk Show.
Can I get the executive card, please?
Yes, exactly. Which, oh my God,
I will now take Uber Blacks. Moving on, moving forward.
Which, by the way, there's so much stuff going on. You have so much stuff going on this month. It is Pride Month, and it's Pride Month. By the way, I love being the gay who walks into a room during Pride Month and go, "Move, I'm gay." Get out my way, I'm gay.
I'm exercising my rights.
I'm exercising my right to be gay this month. So, yes. So, and you know what oh my God, I went to the bank yesterday, and they have a sign up. Girl, they're closed on Juneteenth.
Oh, okay, I'm like, good. It's becoming a nationally recognized holiday.
Yes, thank you. I'm like,
as it should.
It should be. I'm like,
as it should.
Juneteenth has always been a Texas thing.
Yes, correct. A Southern thing, if anything.
Mostly in Texas, though. I think Juneteenth is really big here. I don't think it's really big in other Southern states, but Juneteenth is really.
Wasn't Texas one of the last states to kind of find out, or the last states to actually adhere to?
I think they were, but that's why Juneteenth is so special here.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the last states to. After we lost in the Civil War, I keep saying, I'm in the South, so I'm just going to use that we. But
she was there.
Yes, because I was there.
She's old, y'all.
Girl, I was out there trying to,
she was friends,
patching these soldiers up, doing all this stuff.
She was on her knees,
trying to get my D, trying to get my Confederate D, which I got a lot of Confederate D at the time.
She was a popular hoe during those days.
So that I think that joke is going to come back and haunt me later.
It is. That's why I'm not even adding to it. I'm just kind of like.
I remember the Leslie Jones thing, and I'm like, oh my god.
Is this going to be like when you're like finally like top Billboard 100?
Yeah, exactly.
Podcast,
somebody's going to go, oh, remember that joke you told
from
like
10 years ago
10 years
when
ago?
You said this about you and teen?
I'm like, you know what? I was in my young 50s, and I didn't know what I was doing.
We was a baby show. That's why I'm being real quiet right now.
Yeah, exactly. So
and then we gotta say allegedly.
Allegedly. You know. So yes. So I.
By the way, are you coming to my Pride event, the Pride on the Bridge?
Pride on the Bridge. Hell yes, I'm coming.
You better be there.
Hell yes. I've already made arrangements with other people.
Period.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna have an entourage, girl.
Yes, that's awesome.
And you know, Chris, my side chick, is gonna be there. He's gonna hate that. So
oh
he's going to listen to this episode and go, did you just call me your side chick?
Oh, my God. If now you heard it here first, Chris. I'm sorry. You found out this one.
Yeah, exactly. So my friend Chris, my side chick, is going to be going with me, and I'm probably going to have a couple other people with me as well. So, because you know what the funny thing is that when you sent me that invitation.
Yes.
I thought it was for that Wednesday. I didn't even look at the date because I'm like.
Oh, my goodness.
So I told Chris, I'm like. Girl,
let's go.
We're gonna go this Wednesday. Blah 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 blah. He goes, really? They're having how are they doing that? And I'm like, I have no idea, but we're gonna go.
I don't know.
But then I looked at the date and I had to send him a text going, no, it's not till the 23rd, girl.
Yes.
It's not till the 23rd. So
for the last 5 years,
y'all have been doing. You know what? Here's the thing. I am now. Started to now that Pride has been pushed back to the fall with so many things that are going on up to Pride, I didn't even know this was one of those things that's been going on for years.
It's been going on for the last 5 years. It's kind of a grassroots movement that I started. It literally back in July of 2017, I was driving on Highway 59 in Houston, Texas, and I went under the Montrose Bridge, and then it was during rush hour, and I happened to see this kid that came out. This kid that came out in a Navy uniform, full-fledged Navy uniform with an American flag. He stood on the bridge, and he just waved it to traffic. And everybody went nuts, berserk. They honked at him. They saluted him, everything. And once again, me being that train of thought kind of person where, like, an idea will spark another idea that will create other ideas. And then I just, all of a sudden, and I said, what? And I thought about it. It's like, what if we did that for, the Pride version? And Pride was coming up. No, that was in July, so it had already passed.
So that was a 4th of July thing?
Yeah. And so, like, literally, I sat down with a few friends and threw the idea out there, and they're like, I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you, too. So I got 3 of my closest friends at the time, 2 which I'm still good friends with.
I'm not going to ask about the 3rd.
Right, girl, you don't want to.
Okay. We'll talk about that on another episode.
Right. That'll take a whole hour. I'll put it that way. And I remember that I planned it out with my friends, and so I had a pride flag at home, and I hand painted the word love on it. And me and my friends went out literally 2 weeks later back on that same bridge and just held the flags up, and during rush hour we did our thing, just the 4 of us. And I remember, like, just posting it on social media at the time and not even thinking anything of it, what it was going to do or the effect of it. And people were like, whoa, that's cool. Invite me to the next one. And I was like, really? Like, it's just, I didn't think anything of it. Year 2 comes around. I invite a few more people than I did the original year. The same thing. We posted on social media, hey, this is what we're doing. Whoa, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you let us? So I'm like, so year 2 was the year that people got mad at me because I didn't invite a lot of people. Like, why the fuck did you not invite me? I want to be a part of that. Was so cool. I saw you do it the last year. Year 3 was the year that I officially made the invite. Hey, y'all are invited. Come through. Let's do this. So year 3, a lot more people showed up. And they loved it. And basically what we do is we go to the bridge around 5:30 p.m. with all our Pride gear, and we just wave to the traffic below us because the way that highway set up, you can do that.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Visible.
And those are beautiful bridges, by the way.
Yes, they are.
They are very beautiful bridges.
And so we just wave there to rush hour for like 2 hours, roughly 2.5 hours, and we have fun, and it's a feel good event. And there's nonprofit event. It's literally a community driven event. It's just kind of all grassroots. I I kind of bring all the merch and all the gear that needed. This year, I'm trying to involve a few more like people to sponsor either fans or water or this and just something to help offset the cost, which is still not a lot, but. Anyways, so then year 3 is when I sent the invite officially to everybody. Hey, y'all, everybody's invited. And they're like, okay, cool. That was 2019. And a lot of people showed up for that. I took footage, pictures, whatnot. Everybody's like, oh, my God, that was a good turnout. Let me come to the next one after that. So then year 4, that was during COVID, 2020. And I didn't think anybody was going to show up. And actually, I was not even going to do it, but some people were like, let's do something. It's outdoors. It's not really. And I said, I'll do the event as long as people are safe. Will wear their masks. So I have footage from like the year 4 where like everybody was masked up during the heat, 97-degree Texas humidity.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were still out there. And every single person respected the rules. They wore their masks, and they waved. And we still did it. And we still had it. That was at that time, even during COVID, that was a huge turnout for that event. And then year 5 was like, that's it. We're out of COVID.
You know, because my friends had asked me, how are they doing this? Are they closing the bridge? I'm like, no, I don't think they are. I think it's just a big.
It's not that big yet to where we can close the bridge down. Right now, we're operating on the sidewalk for that bridge facing traffic. If I start seeing that, if I see this year that it's bigger, it can't handle the capacity for whatever the bridge can handle, then the next following year, I'll do my due diligence and see if I can close that part of that street down, whatnot.
You had to get a permit from the city and do all this other stuff.
They're not handing permits out this year.
Yeah, no, they didn't. And that's, by the way, for those of you out there who are like a little miffed about the fact that Pride is not happening in June instead of fall, please don't. That had nothing to do with the Pride Council. That had everything to do with the city not handing out permits when they were supposed to be handing out permits.
Right.
And after 2020, they wanted to make sure that this event was going to be safe and everything else. So you have to understand that that's why Pride was pushed back until fall. And by the way, I'm going to be one of those people here. I'm not mad about that. 97 degrees in June during Pride, 700,000 people. No, thank you. I'll take it in fall.
Okay, honestly. And I'm kind of excited that it's in the fall this year. It's going to be cooler.
It's going to be cooler. There's probably going to be more people.
Let me explain something to the listeners real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have ever been in the middle of June, July, in Houston, Texas, that's summertime. Those are easily 97 degree weather and higher. Not only is it sunny out there, Houston has a horrible humidity.
Yeah, exactly.
So not only are you in the heat, you're also sweating your butt off like you never thought you could sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what kills you.
And that's why we wear so little clothing at Pride.
Okay, bitch, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why we wear so... By the way, some of y'all out there, please make sure you're using your sunscreen, because some of y'all have turned red as a lobster
real quick
out there, and I've seen a bunch of redheads out there. Y'all too white to be out there.
And that's part of why during the Pride on the Bridge event, like I make sure that I have water for everybody. Like I bring water for people, cold water. I bring umbrellas to pass out as like those Pride umbrellas they sell at like the costume stores. What's that called? Acme's, the party wholesale store. I bring gear, something to keep people cool off. And
Arnie's.
Yeah, Arnie's, that one. So even last year it was, I kept passing out water. I would walk out with like 2-3 cold water. Who wants the water? Who wants it? Because I didn't want anybody to have overheating, dehydration, none of that. I was like, please don't do that to me. But yeah, I make sure that everybody's, and it's a safe, peaceful event. I do not condone any violence or anything. Like, cause I always say there might be that one person decides they want to come out and ruin our parade because they see us showing pride and being gay and whatnot. We will not, it's a peaceful event. We won't fight them. If they get out of hand, we'll call the police. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like, I wish they would roll up on. No, we're not. No, there's none of that.
You're not going to see the traditional church of whoever out there with their signs and everything else. Everybody out there preaching.
I hope not.
But once they find, but you know what?
I hope not.
If this, it doesn't take long for these kind of events to get big.
Yes.
So the fact of the matter is that they will be coming out. But like I said, they'll be on their little sideline. You just put them on those sideline there and let them do their thing.
Every time I see those people at Pride, me personally, this is my personal opinion on my take on them. They don't bother me.
They don't bother me at all.
Like, I'm glad they're there. Because you need somebody to be the opposite of the good.
Exactly.
Like you need the good versus the bad. And and a lot of people don't realize it. They are there to purposely mind fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're there to fuck with your vibe and your energy. And it saddens me when I see some of these kids get into the heated arguments with them, yell at them these things.
Well, no, I stopped doing that years ago.
Yeah, me too, because I was like, it's not worth it. And a lot of these people train for these kind of events. They go to practice to get yelled at and talk shit to, so they know how to withstand, and they know that they're protected legally, and they know the rules and the laws. Like these people, like do their due diligence before they go out to these events.
Yeah, exactly.
But I always say, like when you see them, don't acknowledge them with the anger. Don't give them the anger that they're looking for. Don't give them that. Don't even try to talk to them, because these people are. Some of them are so close-minded.
You know, I've seen on social media when they've held up signs that are hilarious.
Gay is sin.
Hilarious.
Like
when their other queens are like standing in front of them going, if being gay is a sin, I'm all for it.
Same here.
You know, gays being funny in front of them, and it's just like...
I've learned that when you do the opposite
yeah, exactly.
of what they're expecting from you as a reaction, that's what throws them off. When you're actually nice and... I've walked up to them and said, thank you for being here. We needed you guys here. And they looked at me like, what? You're welcome. Yeah, that's right. We're here for a reason. Thank you for being here. Because young LGBTQ plus youth needs to see that those people are out there in the world. And then you need to know how to interact with them.
Exactly.
You need to know how to handle that. At least that's in a controlled environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you encounter these people in the wild...
But you realize that with each year that goes by, their numbers get smaller and smaller. They get smaller and smaller. So the fact that we've gotten to the point where it is now so small that it's inconsequential.
Low-key, I've always thought they were closeted. Think about it.
Okay.
Low-key. I've always thought those gay people are closeted.
I know that you're not. I know that you and the audience are not going to believe this, but I actually slept with one of them and did not know that I did. Until later. Yes. But we're gonna
spill
take a
the
motherfucking
no. Fuck the break. Spill the tea, bitch. Don't leave us hanging with that. Tell the story and then we'll take a break.
Okay, I'm gonna. It's a quick story. I did not realize. Okay, so here I was at Pride, having a good time and everything else.
Don't
and
tell me this was a Pride hookup.
I walked past the group like I normally do every year.
Yes.
And, you know, there was one guy who was just particularly cute to me, and I just looked at him, and he looked at me. And he was doing his God hates fags thing. And I didn't think anything about it.
Right.
And until later that evening when I was out at the bars, and I get on Growler, I get a message on Growler saying, hey, I saw you at Pride. Ooh. I thought you were hot.
I was on the opposite team.
And I'm like, okay, all right. And then I take a look at his picture, and he doesn't have a picture. You know how some guys don't have pictures?
Closeted.
Yeah. So then he sends me
profile.
Yes. Then he sends me a picture in the profile, and I'm like, wait, weren't you the guy saying God hates fags, that kind of thing? Well, we did sleep together, but he told me why he was out there, and I understood.
Okay, tell us that part.
Okay, well, after the sex, by the way, the sex was incredible.
Ew.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The sex was so good.
Come through closeted sex.
Yes, come through.
Hidden gay, crouching faggot.
He wanted to hit it again and again and again. I'm like, oh, whoa.
If y'all didn't know, y'all's got that good.
Yeah.
She be promoting on this radio. Y'all think she's playing.
Exactly. I got the good D and the good A. Because I'm versatile. I'm a true versatile. I hate when guys go like, oh, I'm a versatile bottom. Bitch, you a bottom. Just say you a bottom.
Girl.
Just say you a bottom.
Give up the title.
There is nothing wrong with being a bottom. You know what? And I'm really getting...
The versatile part kicks in when it's in case of an emergency.
Yeah, exactly. In case of emergency, I'll be a top, but you don't want to be a top. You want to be a bottom.
They don't.
I enjoy both.
So then what was his reason for...
Well, he was his family was a part of the church. He had no choice in the matter. He knew he was gay.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to lose his family.
Okay. Now I have no respect for that guy.
Yeah, he did not want to lose his family at all. And I actually felt bad for him. Now, years later,
was it some pity dick?
I didn't. Once again, it was every. I know that we all like to give to charity every now and then.
Joe was thinking with his little head, not the big head.
Yeah, exactly. I know we all like to give to charity, but this was a complete accident. I did not realize that he was a member of said group. Now, by the way, he did come out and he sent me a message like a few years later and said that he had come out and that, yes, he lost his family, but he was so happy with who he was, and he got a husband, and they moved to California and all this other stuff. So I was...
Okay, bless his heart at that point.
Okay, so I was pretty happy for him, and I'm glad that he sent me that little message, because I was like, I completely forgot about him after that.
Wow.
And it was just one of my, and like you said, like we had talked about earlier before the show, you and I tend to attract... Oh my God! Terrible people.
I have a fucking magnet for either narcissistic people or toxic people.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't look for them. I don't hold up a sign on the road on the corner saying, "Hey, I'm here." It's just something.
But that made me think: am I also toxic in a certain level?
No. I've looked into it a little bit, and it comes down to people like us who either are centered, who have balance in their life, who don't necessarily have drama around them. That clean energy attracts that negative energy, and so they tend to want to come in and corrupt that, and they'll try to find an in. Narcissists love to come in and love bomb you and say, "Oh my God!" So it makes you think like, "Oh my God, this is the person I've been looking for my entire life."
10 years I spent with a narcissist.
Girl, it's horrible.
As a friend, as a part-time lover, and all this other stuff.
Girl.
Years.
It's no fun.
He broke my spirit.
Yes, they will do that to you.
He broke my spirit. He broke my heart. He broke so many things.
They have a pattern. They will love bomb you, and then that's the term they call it, which is they show you love, affection. They're perfect. They're like, wow, where have you been all my life? Once they realize that they got you comfortable and that you already think that, and you're just submissive to whatever the bullshit they're throwing at you, that's when they start playing their mind fuck games on you. And then from there, it's all... They make everything on you. Your fault. You did this.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you do that to me? And when you call them out on shit, they switch it up. Well, I wouldn't have done that if you didn't lead me to do it in the first place. Okay. And so when you learn their patterns, they have a pattern. Once you learn them, once you realize who they are, like, oh, I know what you are. Okay, girl, bye.
Well, I had spent many years learning. Like I said, the summer of 2020, best summer I ever had. I know it was COVID, but still. I actually sat down and thought about the fact that, like I said, I put so much effort into other people, into building. This is why I love you, because, like I said, you come in, you have all these amazing ideas for the show.
Thank you.
And 90% of the ideas I use. 90%.
And that's on period.
And the 10% I will probably be using here shortly.
Okay, honestly.
Because, you just came in. You were just a guest on my show at one point, and then you have just been a huge help to... I'm not used to that.
I love helping people.
I'm not used to that.
Not expecting anything in return.
I'm used to people wanting something from me, to the point that I got to the point where I just didn't trust people anymore. Yeah. And I realized something. Let me just be... I lost a part of myself when I did that.
Yep.
I really did. I lost because I put so much trust in other people.
Correct.
But I always saw the good in people.
I did too. Yeah.
And I still see the good in people.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put up with a look. I can see your bullshit coming up a mile away. Not you personally.
Oh, wow.
No, not you personally.
Now?
No. I just want to make sure the audience understands. I'm not talking to Julio.
It's funny.
I'm just saying.
How are you going to sit on the show?
I don't know why I'm talking about
I don't know why you're talking like that.
I love my high-pitched voice. Everybody makes fun of me for that little high-pitched voice.
Well, that high-pitched voice probably comes from the fact that you grab yourself an awful lot in your pictures.
Oh.
An awful lot. I'm like,
all my bar pictures.
I know his business. And
a lot of people,
if that's what it looks like flaccid, I can't wait to see what it looks like huge when it's excited,
erect, when it's happy, when it's ready to go.
And half the time, I don't even think you do it on purpose. Half the time,
I really don't. I've learned to not even know.
Your beach pictures were the most funniest pictures I'd ever seen, because it's like, wait a minute, why am I staring at his penis?
Because
why is his penis in every shot?
To paint the picture, I was in Fort Lauderdale on vacation. We were at the beach, Sebastian Beach, and I had like one of those Speedo type swimsuits, and then,
which you can wear, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Good for you for getting that body into.
Period. I did that for just that trip. Don't get it twisted. I went right back to my fat ass self shortly after. Don't get it twisted. So then I'm at the beach. I'm laying with my best friend went with me on that trip. We're laying there, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture real quick. But I purposely kind of like put the dick in you can see the penis bulge,
yes.
the bulge
you can see the bulge,
and then I pointed at the beach and I was like, wow, the water's so blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say everybody saw
nobody looked at the water
at all.
Now, I mean, I looked at the water. I'm like, oh, this is wait, his dick is in the way. I can't see the water.
I can't even see the water.
I can't even see the water because his dick is in the way. And I'm like,
it was there.
This bitch was probably laying on her back, took this picture, didn't realize that her dick was in the picture.
And, even when I'm bartending, what I tend to do is I wear the shorts with no underwear, and so the dick print shows. And you can just see it flopping and doing its thing.
Y'all, he works at Buddy's from 9 to 2.
Okay, Monday, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesdays. He's off on Wednesday because the dick needs a break.
It does.
Wednesdays and Thursdays, that's his dick day. He needs the dick needs to like take some personal time.
Breathe a little,
play some video games, go camping, do that kind of stuff. So, yes.
Dude, I love camping. Camping, like, lately this whole year, I've been having this itch to go camping. And that's why I told you the other day, I was like, dude, I'm going to go. And I went to the New Braunfels area, and I rented out this like little camping space. I had my tent. I brought my gear with me. I just had this whole setup. Bitch, I had the best time. Because I'm one of those people, every once in a while, I just need to unplug completely from everybody and everything and just get away on my own.
I'm the same way. I am the same way.
I camped out. I chose a really good location. Had the best time of my life. And then like day two in half of my day into day two, I was like, what's going on in Austin? Because from where I was at, Austin was only like 40 minutes away, which is nothing. In Texas, that's a hop skip right there, down the street, essentially. So I was like, you know what? I'm here now. Why don't I just... And sure enough, I hit up 2 people I knew in Austin, and they were like, yeah, come through. We'll be here. I showed up.
You know, when they put that bullet train through... Girl,
I'm ready for that.
I'm ready for that. You know, if this government doesn't do anything right, which it doesn't with ERCOT telling me to put my air conditioner at 78 degrees. Okay. I'm like, are you not living in Texas?
That is some bullshit.
That is some bullshit.
Okay, so if you're listening, so remember when Houston or Texas in general had to freeze in February?
Yes, exactly.
So what we've learned since then is that Texas is on a whole different separate grid.
Oh, I've known that for years.
But not most people didn't know that. So for the listeners that don't know, Texas and some of the surrounding states are on its own separate grid.
No, it's just Texas for the most. Okay. Yeah.
So we're on our own grid because there's an eastern grid and the western grid, which are national grids, and they're usually overlooked by the government to make sure they're in compliance, this and that. But Texas is on its own grid, which is called ERCOT, and they do the bare minimum, and which is how we ended up with the freeze in February, and it affected a lot of people. And now, the summer, a lot of people are getting emails saying, hey, by the way, you should set your thermostat to 78 degrees while it's 98 degrees outside in Houston. And we all know 78 degrees in a crib.
It's not going to work.
Ain't cute.
I could do 72, but that's as far as I'm going.
On some extra fans to help circulate the air, but you are not going to catch me below.
But at the same time, we're at the mercy of them at the same time, too, because I don't want to lose my power when it's 100 degrees outside.
You know what I saw on TikTok? So apparently if you have the digital thermostats like the Nest, they can control that thermostat and won't let you turn it up or down. They will set the temperature for you.
Oh, no.
That right there let me know I ain't never buying one of them.
I'm never, no.
Bitch. You got the wrong hoe.
You got the wrong hoe.
On the wrong time at the wrong month.
You know, I thought about buying one because I thought it would be easier for the apartment.
Me too.
So that I could just be like, hey, set it to this and that.
Hey,
and then
Siri,
I can walk up.
set my shit up to F degrees, period. No.
But I don't even have Alexa in the house. I don't know why. You would think that I would be, I am a tech nerd. I love tech.
Yes.
I really, really do love tech. But I don't have an Alexa in the house, I'm like...
Steve Jobs already knows a lot about my life. Him and my FBI agent knows a lot about my life. Do I really need another agent in my house knowing about my life? It's like, girl.
You know, the funny thing is that now...
my privacy has been invaded.
Do you now get the notifications about whether or not you want Google to track
I turn that off.
track you. They actually give you the option of whether or not you want to be a tracked or not. And I'm like,
no,
I love this.
I mean, they're doing it behind.
But
the
I
scenes
also have
regardless.
I paid for 3 years of a VPN too, so I can like surf.
Throw off the trail.
You know why I got it? So that I can watch RuPaul's Drag Race on Netflix in France.
That's true. They get
France.
They get the up to date season.
Yes, because they don't have Hulu. Hulu's not in a lot of places, y'all. Y'all don't understand that. So they're not in a lot of countries. So Netflix picks up the slack.
Oh.
So in France, I can watch current seasons.
Period.
Of
How would
RuPaul.
they say period in French? Period.
You know what?
Peru.
Why don't you just Google that and find out?
Hey Siri. Hey yo bitch. Hey yo girl.
Y'all can tell that she works at a gay bar,
Hey,
right?
Hey mamas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey mamas. Mm-hmm. Hey.
But the fact that I could watch, I just wanted to watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and getting the VPN is like so cheap.
It is? How much?
For 3 years, I think I paid $60.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
I paid $60 and I got the #1 rated VPN because I'm like, if I'm gonna get a VPN, I want the best one.
Period.
So I'm not gonna. They're not sponsoring us. So I don't have to say it. But the fact of the matter is, I like the idea of being able to surf on the internet and do stuff without.
Also, she gets on Grindr with her VPN and explores different countries, and suddenly she's more popular than ever.
Yes, suddenly, but they're still in other countries, and unless you fly into Houston anytime soon, which please don't fly to Houston to have sex with me if your family member is somewhere in the medical center being treated for cancer or what have you. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. That's just wrong.
Oh my god,
that's funny, but it's just wrong.
I don't want to be your.
We are so inappropriate today on this show. This is why I love having you on the show.
Gays have no boundaries when it comes to sex and hooking up.
Yeah, it's like
I'm here for a funeral, and it's like, but
it's
I'm gonna suck your dick real quick.
The last guy I was with, he's like, "Oh, I'm here
sibling
because
is stage 4 cancer is dying tomorrow, but I'm here to hook up.
My
real
father, we're from Saudi Arabia, but my father is here in the medical center getting treatment, and I'm like,
no chill whatsoever.
Are you serious? Are you
at all
shitting me right now,
girl?
And by the way, the sex was not that great.
On top of
I don't understand how you have
a trash dick,
8-inch dick, and don't know how to use it.
You'd be surprised because motherfuckers like that, because they have a big dick, they think they don't have to do the work. They just think they just whip it out and go, eh.
And I'm supposed to go, oh, yay, look at that. By the way, mine is equal or better.
And that's why you're that girl, mamas.
Mine is equal or better, and I know how to use it.
Okay, period.
I don't think I've gotten a lot of complaints. Now, if there's somebody out there who would like to voice a complaint to me, who has been with me,
please call this number.
Y'all know how to get it. You just put it on the Facebook page, and then
para inglés, press 1.
Then I'll make it up to you.
Para español, press 2.
Speaking of which, you know this.
Can you imagine if you had a call center for your fucking dick reviews? Thank you for calling Joe's Dick Center of Yo.
Oh my God, the complaints department.
My name is Julia. How can I help you?
Exactly.
I just want to file a complaint on Joe's dick.
Okay, first of all, if Julia is calling to complain about my dick, then she has every right to, because I'm super gay and it didn't work at the time. I tried. I wanted to see if I could, but it just didn't work because I'm gay. Let me say this in the most polite way that I possibly can, because
tell these hoes
I cannot wait. I'm trying right now to get the goddesses of the earth onto the show. Okay. I saw their picture on. I had Priscilla. I know I'm mispronouncing your name, and I'm sorry because I usually do.
Priscilla or Priscilla?
No, Priscilla May was on my show a few months ago. She's like my spiritual. Oh my God, I love her so much. She's like my
spirit animal, twin flame.
She's like my spiritual person that I just like. Yes. I love talking to her. I
love hanging out with spiritual people.
Yes, she's so. And I met her at Buddy's.
Okay.
The first time we did the show at Buddy's. Okay. The first time she came on and did an episode with me, and she basically, her picture is still on my Facebook. Yes. Her picture is on my website page. Yes. But she recently did a picture with her other sisters. Okay. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to have you girls on.
Yes, that would be a cute show.
I have to. I want them to do their own show, under my banner because I've always wanted to have the women on of the show, of the community.
Yes.
Because I actually, Singapore Rogue, who has been on the show in the past, in past episodes, I was trying to get her girls together.
I don't know her.
She is also a bartender, but she works at a straight bar, like literally right down the street.
She came to a party once, and I saw her, but I don't know her.
I think she classifies herself as pansexual. She's been with women, she's been with men, she's been with transgender people. So I think she classifies...
She's sexually fluid.
She's very sexually fluid. So I think she classifies herself as...
I love people like that. They're just fucking open. Like, what are you? Okay, I'll try it.
Look, you know what? I love it too, but I'm strictly dickly. I love the dick. There's something about the dick.
There's something about
that just makes me just go, oh my God, I love the dick. I have no problem with vagina at all. I've seen vagina a lot in my life.
Okay.
A lot. Women have showed me their vaginas so many times. It's ridiculous. I've seen the shaved kind. I've seen the hairy kind.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, oh my God, why are you throwing your vagina in my face when you know that I'm 100% gay?
Period.
But the fact of the matter is, I've always hated gay men who are like, ew, ugh, vagina, ugh. It's like, why would
vagina is beautiful.
That's misogynist.
It's not disgusting.
It's not. That's misogynistic.
And I speak from my previous life. I was a closeted man. So I speak from that point of view. I used to date women. Back over 10 years ago.
You know what? I can see that because you're kind of like a Latin.
What's up?
Rico Suave type.
How you doing?
He's got the ponytail, hair slicked back.
What's up?
So I can see that
back
women
in
would
my
be
days,
like...
Over 10 years ago, I was kind of closeted, and I was still dating women, and I was really trying to hide from myself, and then finally one day I said, I'm done with this putting up the front bullshit, and I'm going to live my true self.
What dick magically turned that around for you?
No dick in particular. No dick in particular. It's just dick in general. no dick in particular.
Because there's always that one dick that you're like, oh my God, I am solidly gay.
So
solidly gay.
Yes. And
if I was on the fence about it, I am now solidly gay.
And trust me, I get hit on. I get hit on by women all the fucking time.
Yes, I can see it because you have all the features.
I mean,
you look like you.
Tell
honestly,
me more about myself.
Honestly,
Tell me.
Y'all will see pictures. Y'all, of course, will see pictures on the Summer Pride promotion. You look like every guy that comes in the Sunday brunch where I work, and you have like 3 girls on your side.
Oh shit!
Yes, you look like that guy.
If I would have been,
if you were straight, you would have 3 girls on your side, and they would all have like big breasts and like skimpy little dresses on, and their hair would be perfectly coiffed and everything, and you would just walk in just all proud, and you look like that guy.
Well, thank you.
Because I've seen that guy like so many times, and I'm like,
God.
oh my God.
I will say this in my self-defense: I'm not the conceited type. I'm not the caught up in my looks. I'm just very well. I like to think I'm very grounded, well-rounded. I'm approachable. Like people will be like, "Wow, you're so fucking approachable." I was like, "Yeah, like I don't have to put up." You
realize that you are standing on the precipice on. You are husband material.
I am
with Vacation D.
Okay.
And Vacation D, by the way, is good D, but you only go for that every now and then.
Okay.
But you're like standing in between.
And you know the crazy part is I'm happily single. Happily single. We talked about this a little bit earlier before we started recording.
We both are.
Yeah.
We're both like.
Because we realize we attract the wrong type of people, and we don't do that intentionally. They just naturally come to us. They seek us out, bitch. I don't know if there's a pheromone out there saying, "Hey, I have good, I take care of myself. I love myself. Come fuck that up." And I don't know if that's a pheromone, if that's like a vibe that we put out.
It's like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like.
And people ask me,
look at my friends and I'm like,
yes.
And they're like, oh well, he's such a good guy and he takes good care of me and all this other stuff, and I'm like.
Why are you single? How are you single? It's like, I don't. It's not about the quantity for me. It's about the quality. And at the same time, it's like, I'm not willing to put up with the bullshit that comes my way. Like, if I know that you're a toxic person, if I know you're a narcissist, I'm not going to like go along the roller coaster with you and come out at the end and be like, I could have done better. No.
This episode was supposed to be about talking about pride stuff and everything else. Yes. But I have to say this. You know, for the longest time, I was the hookup guy because I didn't want to invest in, because I knew what I was going to get in return, and I did not want to get that.
And don't get me wrong, I have my few hookups here and there.
I just didn't want to risk being with someone who was just going to be as narcissistic or toxic or what have you as possible.
Thing is, until I meet somebody that meets me halfway, that I know is a genuine person, who I don't have to worry about, because I've learned lessons from the past. I was like, I don't have to worry about you. I don't want to have to think about what you're doing, what you're not doing when I'm not around. If you can't control yourself, then we don't need to be together.
Yeah. So now I'm at the point where it's like, I like
monogamy, but I'm also open to like doing other shit.
Thank you.
And like I told like even people that like I'm like in the city I live in, I don't want to hook up with other people. I just don't. I don't care for it.
You know, my friends,
like if I'm in a relationship, but if you and I go on like me and my partner go on a vacation, like hey, we're on somewhere where nobody knows who the fuck we are. Let's fuck around. Go get your dick sucked. Go bye.
But you know, the funny thing is that with my friends, they're actually surprised when I say that if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, I would like for it to be monogamous.
Yeah.
And the reason why I would like for it to be monogamous is because I can literally sleep with anybody I want to.
Oh, yeah. Same
so
here.
Why would I want to be with someone who wants to sleep with everybody else and me
options.
at the two?
We have options.
But at the same time, as long as you don't bring it into the house, I don't care. If you meet somebody and you want to hook up, do that.
I always tell,
but I don't want to know about it. I don't care.
Either the people I'm dating with or I'm going to be in a relationship, I always say, don't take me for granted, bitch, because I can literally pull my phone out right now and hit up two, three people that I know will be like, yes, finally, you messaged me about this, and I've told you I would suck your dick every time I see you. I can literally bust my phone out, and if I really
well, you're a bartender at a gay bar. Everybody wants to suck your dick.
They do.
Everybody wants to suck your dick.
That's not even funny or shit. Like, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
They really do.
And as a bartender, who, by the way, who has worked in straight bars, and I've worked in straight bars a long time, there's still dudes who want to suck my dick right now. And I'm like, wow, I don't know where that came from, but that's great. But
we get sex thrown at us.
Yeah, sex is thrown at us consistently. So, you know, and I feel bad for our female partners who are like,
when I date somebody, they have to be secure in themselves first. Because when you date somebody like myself who's in the bar scene and people flirt with you all the time, people see you all the time, you have to, like, I will talk to you personally on the side and be like, look, this is work and this is pleasure, and I'll let you know when they're crossing that line and when they're not.
And jealousy is a natural thing.
It is.
But here is where you have to be. This is why I'm such a, you know, I still to this day have a hard time.
And there's a stereotype that comes with bartenders. Some bartenders do fulfill
I still have
that
a hard time describing myself because I don't want to come off as conceited or anything else. Right. I'm a brainy guy. Yeah. So I'm always thinking about stuff. Yeah. So if I'm jealous of my partner and they're with someone who is like, I know they're into that partner, that person is into my partner, I start to think about things. But then because I'm such a brainy person, I realize one or two things. I could be super jealous about this whole situation. True. Or I could laugh because my partner is obviously into me. And it also depends on who you're with. It depends on who you're with. Yeah, and that person is so trying to get his attention that I will laugh about it. And I will tell them, hey, you realize that guy was really hitting on you. And they'll be like, I didn't notice that. And I'm like, yeah, but they were, because I saw all the signs. Because I did it. I've done it before. Yeah. I have done it before, so I know the signs.
You've been that girl.
Yeah, I've been that girl.
You've teared down a happy home.
Yeah. No, I haven't no. Wait a minute.
Torn
now.
down a happy home. Wow.
Now
Joel.
Wait a minute. But I
can't believe you.
Yes. Okay. I will admit I've torn down a happy home once or twice.
5. But okay.
Once or twice. 5 or 6. But I recognize that simply because I've done that. Simply because I cannot believe that the narcissistic person that I was with would get this incredible guy who is so incredible that it's ridiculous, and he would use him for his gains, his means, or what have you. And I'd be like, please don't do this. He is terrible.
All the time. I've seen couples at the bars that I take care of. Yeah, that you can clearly see who makes the money and who doesn't, and who's using who for what. And
it's not even really about the money.
At the end of the day, I'm like, that's on y'all.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Leave me out of your drama. Like, Because some people, hey, that's how they find the balance within their own relationships.
And I'm starting to respect. Here's the thing, and that's the weird thing. I'm starting to respect that. Because if that's what you choose to be in, that's your choice.
Period.
So I'm going to respect your choice.
Yes.
Even if I think your choice is as toxic as hell, but you made that choice.
You sure did.
I'm not going to make that choice. The next person that I'm with, if I ever settle down with someone, that's it. That's the person I'm going to be with.
If what do you mean if you will? Why not? Why don't we have that? Why don't we have that open up? Like why don't we? Why can't we say I'm going to settle with?
Here's the thing.
Why we gotta leave it in the air? Like
here's the thing, because I like the idea of me being free to do what I want.
True. You feel like you can't do that within a relationship?
I like the.
Or you get so involved in that relationship that you forget about yourself?
No, I've been so involved in so many different relationships that I've never gotten to be me. And getting to be me is the most important thing right now.
Agreed.
So if I settle down with someone, I want someone who is fun, but independent. They don't need to be with me. I don't want someone who needs me. I want someone who wants me in their life.
Summarized, long story short, somebody who can meet you in the middle. Yeah. In more ways than one. Personality, love, respect, integrity, all that shit.
Hot
all
sex,
that
hot
fucking
sex,
rainbow
hot sex,
butterfly.
hot sex. You have to, if you are not having hot sex in that relationship, it is not going to work. I'm sorry to say this.
Is sex everything for you, though? Honestly, let's delve into that.
Yes. Sex is... Yes, for me.
Although I get that sex is important with it, the physical aspect is important within
because
a relationship.
The idea,
but is that the only thing that has to be like
because
number
everything that leads up to the act is about passion, love, fire, that kind of thing. So when the sex does happen, it's amazing, all the time, every time. It doesn't have to be often. So it doesn't have to be all the time.
Sex is the plus. Sex is the the culmination of the entire relationship, like you said, passion, love, sex, and then it's that you guys display that on the physical act. Because the way I understood it, where you said it has to be sex, 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 I'm like, okay, so then sex is your number one priority. Then are you really looking for the right things or no?
No. Okay. Sex is the number one priority, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Sex is the number one priority because everything that leads up to it makes sex better. The fire, the passion, the idea of who you are as a person. I'm at the point, like I said, I said this earlier, I was probably the leader in hookup culture for God knows how long.
Okay.
I saw you, hooked up with you. I saw you, I hooked up with you, I had sex with you, you were out of my house by 2, that was fun. Perfect. It was fun, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
You knew how to do it.
But as I got older, I realized I want a little bit more than that.
Yes.
What you said earlier was the truth for me now. I want someone who I actually like.
Yeah.
Now when I have sex with them. I want someone who I actually feel something for.
Yes.
And I don't know what that feeling is, but if I feel it at that moment, and I like everything about you, what you do, who you are, what kind of person, I find that very, very attractive.
Yes.
I find that very attractive. So when it leads to sex, it makes sex so much better than when someone who just knocked, I have literally compared.
See, I like that explanation better.
Yeah, I have literally compared growler, scruff, grinder to like ordering a pizza. It's like, oh, let me look at the different flavors.
You're right. Technically, you're right.
Let me look at the different flavors of what I'm into this evening. Hook it up, do the talk, order what I want.
Right.
Have them come to my door. Once they come to my door, we do what we need to do, and then they're done.
Bye.
Just like a pizza. Yeah. And I feel happy and satisfied for a few hours.
Temporarily.
Yeah, for a few hours, and I'm good. Just like a pizza. So that's how I see.
That validation was fulfilled. That thrill was seeked.
And I got a little older. Little things started to happen. Yeah. I started to question where I want to go from this point on and who I want to be from this point on. I started to show. I started to show in my late 40s, early 50s. Because I wanted to do something different.
As you should. And it's never too late at all, ever, to start anything in life. I
wanted to do something different. And I wanted to explore my creative side. And the more that I started to explore my creative side... Oh, I'm sorry.
Breathe,
Lord.
Breathe, mama. Breathe.
Oh, Lord. Let me breathe.
Okay.
Okay.
Relationship talk got you
Because
worked up.
no, because now I'm revealing myself to an audience that I'm having.
Truth.
I'm speaking my truth for the first time. I love the kids. I swear to God, I love the millennials. I love the Gen Zs because they are really teaching me how to be a person now.
There you go.
They are really teaching me how to stand up for myself and not be bullied anymore. I've been bullied my entire life.
Yeah.
And the millennials and the Gen Zs are saying, no, don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. And now when I look at everybody in my generation, and I realize we've all been through some horrific, traumatic stuff.
And I'm starting to
but
see
we were
that.
told to just take it like a man.
I'm at that age now where now I can see it from a perspective of I'm older, but still I'm 35, so I'm older, but I'm still young enough to be connected to the young culture. But now I'm older enough I can connect with the older culture, and I see both sides of the spectrum. I can see where the young millennials come in and say we don't tolerate that shit, we're not for that, and now I'm at that age where I can see why the older people tolerated that shit and put up with the bullshit.
But
it's times, it's the times, it's the culture at the moment. And I love that, like you're saying, I love that the kids stand up.
The kids are standing up, and you know what? And I'm feeling emotions right now. I'm literally emotional right now. I'm feeling that because of the kids, especially as a black gay man, and especially as a black person
in America.
My generation was told we don't do therapy. You go to church or you pray it away or what have you. Now I'm seeing other black people saying, no, therapy is good.
For example, the new younger black generation.
Yeah, the new younger black generation is now telling me that
no, we don't have to do that.
We don't have to do that anymore.
We fight that system that they put you in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're saying, hey, think about your mental health. Think about who you are as mental health. Whereas I grew up in a generation where anybody who was mental,
if you had any kind of problem, you don't talk about it.
Yeah, you don't talk about it. You don't say anything about it. You just move on or what have you. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to be that person anymore. And the younger generation has taught me that now I can
fearless. I love that about them.
I can be
fearless.
open now and be okay with who I am.
Yes.
And oh my God, that came from the younger generation. Not my generation, the younger generation. I'm Gen X.
Yeah.
And having Gen Z and millennials say, hey, it's okay. It's okay that if you have mental issues, it's okay to say something about it and to get it taken care of now.
And I think the more we becoming connected with internet, social media platforms, we're starting to see more transparency all around. And we're realizing that as humans, we're all the same. And we have the same fucked up issues across the board, no matter what culture and background you come from.
And to see my generation still fighting the good fight when it comes to trying to be, oh, you need to just be a man about all this stuff. No. You have literally told me that being a man means that I should own up to who I am and be okay with that.
Yeah.
If that's a lesson that I'm going to take, then I should be okay with, one, being 100% gay. Yeah. You know, I had an issue for a long time with being gay because my dad said, hey, I don't care if you're gay. I love you. Just be a top.
But
don't be a bottom.
But don't take it in the ass.
Don't take it in.
Put it in the ass.
Don't take it in the ass. But then I realized something. The guys who take it in the ass are much more manlier than I mean,
you'd be surprised.
They are much more manlier than I am. Yes. Trust me. I mean, oh, good Lord. Being a bottom is much more manly because let me tell you something. It takes a lot of.
You guys are the real troopers.
You're the real troopers. Bottoms are the real troopers.
You're the real one, mamas.
You're the real ones, mamas. Click, click. Let's click our glasses.
Clanks.
Two bottoms. Because without you, tops,
we couldn't get our dick wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to be so
I know. we couldn't. And like I said, I'm versatile, so I can take it both ways.
Period.
I can take it both ways, and I love both ways.
Right? Same, by the way.
I love it, by the way.
People get shocked when I tell them, like, what are you, top, bottom? I'm like, I'm versatile. Like, there are days that I want to fuck the shit out of somebody, and there's days when somebody fuck the shit out of me.
So you're versatile, which means that you're versatile top, versatile bottom. No, just I'm versatile.
Bitch. That's it.
I like it both. I just love the idea. I think with me and sex, especially with sex with another dude, the fact of the matter is, I love the idea of being with a man.
Yeah.
There's something about being with a man that's just so overwhelmingly powerful for me.
Get it.
That I don't care about positions. I don't care about whether or not you want to stick it in me or if I'm sticking it in you. I don't really care about that. All I care about is the fact that I'm laying here with this powerful being right now, and it's the most amazing thing to me. And
As
especially
it
if that
should
powerful
be.
being has the most beautiful penis I've ever. I love penises. I love the idea of every time I look at a penis, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. You have a beautiful penis. You really do have a
She
beautiful.
is the penis sommelier.
I am a penis
Sommelier.
whisperer.
She can
sommelier.
taste the dick and be like, this dick came from this region. Mm-hmm. This is the altitude this dick was raised in.
I can actually tell your personality by your dick. I really can tell the personality by just by looking at your dick.
My.
I can tell who you are as a person.
I told you
by your dick.
I told you. This hoe.
That's
right
why.
here.
That's why when I see like your dick imprints in pictures and stuff, I'm like, that's a hardworking bitch right there.
Period.
That
Shut
bitch is
up.
creative and hardworking, and she does her thing.
I love how my dick
And
has its own
yes,
personality.
it has its own. No, it doesn't have its own personality. It's a part of who you are.
Yeah, correct.
And it shows exactly who you are. Just like my dick is like
A part of
sometimes.
who you are.
No, you know what my dick has a problem with? My dick has a problem with taking pictures because my dick is so insecure.
Doesn't fit in the frame. Or
Yeah, because I'm insecure when I take pictures. So it's not that it doesn't fit in the frame.
Ooh.
It's more in the lines of the fact that it won't stay where it needs to stay.
That
Because
part.
as soon as I point a camera at my dick, it just goes woo.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, why am I so
I think that's a
insecure?
common, I think it's a common problem. It's not insecurity. It's that we're so focused on getting the picture that we lose concentration on maintaining the erection. Mm-hmm. I've learned that. Is this, we're so
No,
caught up
but
in making sure that it looks. Oh,
Talking to my therapist, it is an insecurity.
Is it really?
It really is an insecurity because men spend so much time worrying about their dick size. It's become like this whole thing with with men where we worry about is my dick big enough for you?
Oh, okay.
And it's like, wait a minute.
And that's also the pressures of gay culture.
That's the pressures
where
of
it's like, if
men.
you're not this size, so I can't fuck with you. And then you have the queens who's like, I don't give a fuck what your dick looks like. Just put it in me.
But there's also the pressures. I don't think
The
it's
size
just
queens.
I don't think it's just gay culture. I think it's just
Culture in general.
yeah, men.
Sex
men,
in general.
I think men spend so much time, heterosexual and gay, spend so much time worrying about their dick size that they forget everything else.
And I think the same goes for the other way around, isn't it? For the ones who are taking the dick. Like they worry about if their stuff is good enough for the dick. being
Yeah, exactly.
taken. Wow.
But on the other side, whether it's bottoms or the ladies, and I don't mean any harm on either side, whether it's the bottoms or the ladies, it's how much you can take.
Okay.
It's how much you can look.
TBH, to be honest.
You tell me that you're 13 inches. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. I hope you're a good bottom because it's
Okay.
not going to happen on this end. On this end, I have done the research and realized that I can take at least 10, but
Ooh,
that's it.
Girl.
That's as far as I can go.
Do you, boo? Do you,
And that's as
mamas?
far as and 10, by the way, came from country and came from the story that I told earlier about
What, that was from him?
that was from him. That's why I said the sex was incredible.
I love that story, and I just like once again going back to that story. I always suspected that because I'm a firm believer in homophobia is a form of closeted gay.
It really is.
I do think that when the guys because they're trying to make you think that they're not gay so hardcore that they're willing to pick on the gay people, and it's like, dude, if you're just gay, come out.
You know, I've had many. I do. I have a lot of straight male friends who are so secure with their sexuality that I can like flirt and have fun with them and everything else, and they're like super cool about it and everything else, and they don't have to tell me, you know, Joel, I'm straight.
Right.
They don't have to tell me that. They just are okay with it, and they're fine. But when you're homophobic, and I've realized when you're homophobic, you worry so much.
You do of convincing people that you're not
exactly.
you don't want the idea or the assumption of I don't think I ever went through that homophobic stage. I don't think I ever did. But I do remember when I was in the closet being conscious of, I don't want to come off as gay. I don't want people perceive any kind of gay on me.
So much time spent trying to
convince otherwise.
And you know, I went through the same thing with...
It's like, bro, like, and that shit was exhausting in its own.
I went through the same thing with being straight acting. You realize that straight acting in the gay community is also a problem.
It is.
And
I get that shit a lot because I'm very masculine. I carry myself very masculine, and I get that shit sometimes. I'm naturally a masculine dude, and I don't feel like I have to act I'm just myself at all times. That's what bothers people a lot too. I'm very transparent about who I am, how I carry myself.
You have your moments. You literally express those moments on the show, but you have your moments.
I have my gay moments. I live for them, and especially
I live.
And it's like if I get, especially when I get drunk or something like that, the gayness comes out even more. But otherwise, when I'm just sober, being myself and carrying on about my everyday life, like I'm just me.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really put. You know, a lot of people have told me, you know, Joel, I didn't know you were gay until you said something. And I'm like...
For anybody that's listening that's gay who feel like they're masculine gay, I call it masculine gay. It's like,
there's nothing wrong with it.
That's fine.
That's who you are.
You don't have to fit into
being
any particular gay stereotype or any box. Or no, just be you. Whether whether you're flamboyant, whether you're more butch, whatever, just live.
Just live.
You.
Just matter. If you were flamboyant from birth, be flamboyant till you die.
That's it.
And there's no if you came out of the vagina like just going with a fan and going, woo, I'm here.
Yeah. If you wear makeup, you don't wear makeup. If you paint your nails, if you don't paint your nails, which is becoming a lot more common nowadays.
You know, I think I want to paint my nails.
Do it. Honestly,
I think I want to paint my nails.
It's a form of expression.
You know, I was getting a
do it.
A pedicure.
Yeah.
And she goes, do you want me to paint your nails? And I'm like,
you should have. It's a form of expression.
No one's ever. Well, I'm not ready to really show the downstairs part of my feet simply because I'm still dealing with the eczema and everything else. I just started wearing shorts again, which was like...
You got those claws or feet over there?
No. My feet are... my feet look good, girl.
They pretty.
They are pretty. I got them cut. I got everything done. They look good.
She's that girl.
I am that girl.
Come jizz on my feet.
But when it comes to my legs, I still have the issues with the eczema and everything else. So,
okay. Eczema. Yeah. That's why. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still having issues with that. But I'm starting to wear shorts more.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to be like a little bit more open with that because you know what? I had beautiful legs once.
Yeah, you did. When you were a twink.
When I was a twink, I had beautiful brown
tight. She wore them tight
brown
jeans.
Skin. I love you for your brown skin.
Period.
I mean, just hot looking legs, and then the eczema hit, and
she was mama. She was that girl.
It left scars and everything else. But now I'm starting to look at the scars and going, you know what? I'm okay with this.
Yes, you're accepting your body.
I'm started. You are. I'm started to accept it.
These are my scars. These are my battles.
These are my scars, my battles, my things.
And that's what I love about getting older. We stop giving a fuck about perception, what people think. And I did that even in my early 20s into my 30s. Like I was already that person. Just stop giving a fuck.
You know, there's only one thing that I wish I was a little bit. I wish I was at 35. I would have realized this where you are right now. You realize this, and I can look in your eyes and tell you that you realize this.
Yeah,
I'm 53 years old, and it took until I was almost 50 for me to realize not to give a fuck about shit.
And that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their realization sooner or later.
Exactly. And I became happier after that.
Yes, you do.
I became happier. Now, like I said, there are a couple of things that I need to work on.
Of course.
But at the same time, those things are like,
When you start picking
they're mild little
things. When you start being more selective with the people you surround yourself with, when you start becoming more focused on your mental, physical, and emotional health, when you will realize a lot about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And you will start giving less fucks of what anybody thinks.
And because of it, I've now surrounded myself with people who really want me to succeed.
As you should.
And that has really been the biggest payoff ever. From Charlotte to you to Easton, all the way down. People who, like I said, I was at Buddy's last night, and I was going to cancel a show for Pride because I didn't have a co-host.
Oh, hell no. And I found you one, by the way. She said yes.
I did not have a co-host.
I'll let you let that cat out of the bag later on.
We'll let that cat out of the bag. But the fact of the matter is, I didn't have a co-host, and I was freaking out because I'm like, I have nobody to do the show with me because everybody had asked. I already had stuff to do, and Charlotte was already big with all the stuff that was going on with where she works.
And a lot of your friends are industry friends,
yeah,
so
exactly.
they tend to work those special events and those holidays.
Exactly.
So it's not like you can't find anybody. It's just your people are the people that work the scene, and so they're not available always.
So sitting there at Buddy's and being able to talk to the people who were at Buddy's who were in those positions. And they were telling me, no, we really want you to be here. We'll find you a co-host if we need to find you a co-host.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll do that for you. And I'm like, I was taken aback.
Yep.
Because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to people wanting to help me do stuff. I'm used to people
and if you're not used
wanting
to
take advantage of me.
Yeah, and if you're not used to it, it's hard to accept that.
Yeah.
It's really hard. You have to get comfortable with it in order to become that. But yeah, I found you a co-host. She said, yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Cool. That's such a cool. And you'll love her. She's
I've seen her on stage and everything.
Personality.
No, I've seen her on stage. Wendy, oh my God.
Wendy Taylor.
Wendy Taylor is
amazing, very community driven, very well rounded person, very talented. She was on American Idol, I believe. I don't know what season it was, honestly, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. She was on that show, and after that show, it started her career. I don't know if she had. I honestly don't. I've only had conversations with her here and there, so I don't know her full biography. If you know, that's the right word for it. But I know for a fact from what I've gotten to know with Miss Wendy, she's a beautiful soul, talented, very creative, very community driven. She's always looking to how to help people. She's always, and what I love about her is she's one of those people that she likes lifting people up around her.
And by the way, she will also bring like so much more to the show because she is. I saw her on stage when she was doing. Raise the bar.
She would be a perfect
Raise the bar. By the way, I cannot believe I'm saying that. Wendy Taylor will be my co-host
on Pride Sunday.
On Sunday Pride, June 26th. She will be my co-host. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
And I can see her being
so
like your
excited.
go-to backup host and something like that because she just.
You're my go-to backup host.
I better be, bitch. I ain't never gonna be replaced. Let me tell you something.
And let me tell you something. Everybody that has now been on this show is like, hey, can I be your backup co-host? And I'm like,
I have one.
Well, I already have one, but if I need you for a specific reason, I will call you.
Period.
If I need you. But I like the idea of that.
Hell yeah.
I love the idea that this is, oh my God, this is the best episode, Julio, you and I have ever done.
Thank you.
Every time I do an episode with you, we have so much fun.
We do, man.
We do really have so much fun.
We just bounce off
We drink
each
a little,
other.
we talk a little.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everything that you and I are talking about, we're being open and real.
Yes.
We're telling our truths because I want everybody to know what it is to be who you are.
Correct.
And being who you are means...
it takes work, people. It's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. We're like, hey, I decide to be happy. No. You have to work on your happiness. You have to work on your mental health. And mental health can be from the mildest to the most severe. So you have to work. You have to put in the work on yourself. You have to cut people out of your life that no longer benefit you. You have to surround yourself
Which is the
with
hardest,
like-minded people.
By the way, that is the hardest thing to do.
It is.
And I'm going to sit here right now and tell you right now,
real quick,
it is the hardest thing to do.
Sometimes the path to self-love, it can be the loneliest at times.
Yeah, it is lonely.
It can be lonely. Be prepared for that because it will fuck with your mind. Because like, why? If I'm doing better for myself, then why am I alone? Why can I not? Because when you start seeing through the bullshit and you start letting the veil down, you realize, you know what? I don't need these people in my life because they're not contributing. The only people that should be in your lives are the ones that contribute. And by contributing, I mean is they come into your life, they add to it, they make it better, and they help lift you up.
If it wasn't, I'm going to tell you right now, let me tell you what he is talking about. If it wasn't for the pandemic of last summer, I was going to quit this show.
Yeah.
I was going to literally tear the show down and say, I'm not doing it anymore.
Done. Like, that's it.
I was not going to do it. And because I didn't, I knew what my greatest strength was having someone by my side.
Yes.
And that is my greatest strength when it comes to the show.
Yes.
So I was going to close the show down because I no longer had anybody by my side. And then Charlotte shows up.
Yep.
And changed the game.
Yep.
and made me realize, wait a minute, we can do this show.
Yes.
We can do this show. And even if Charlotte is super busy right now, I can still do the show because Charlotte gave me what I needed to do this show.
And it's one of those things where each person sometimes can be a gateway to another step in your life. Maybe that was Charlotte's job at the time. And I'm not trying to say like that's the end of Charlotte.
And by the way, I wanted to say this simply because it goes both ways.
Yes.
When it comes to Charlotte, I encouraged her,
of course,
to get out into the community and do as much as you possibly can.
That's what
because you're coming from Florida.
Is. Yeah.
You're coming from Florida. You're now in the gay community in Houston. If you want to make your mark, you got to get out there and do your thing. And I encouraged her. And look where she is.
Yes.
Look where she is. So for the second time in my life, I've actually taken someone under my wing and said, hey, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Go for it. And now she is doing it.
Yeah.
Now she is doing it. It makes me so proud.
As it should.
It makes me so proud. And it makes me feel so good about why I'm doing this show.
And that's what I mean by surround yourself with people who want to see you do better.
Exactly.
And if not, go higher than when they first met you. Because a lot of friendships meet at the same level. Oh, you're doing this type of job. Oh, let's say you're equals. When you meet, and a lot of friends. And as soon as you start rising, getting a better job, getting better pay, maybe having a newer car. If those friends are the ones that hate on that, don't like it, start talking shit about you because they think those are the friends you got to drop.
Exactly.
But if you got the friends that build you up, say, yeah, you got a new car, bitch. Let's go on a trip. Let's go on the road. Let's do this. Let's do that.
But I'm going to throw some honesty and truth bomb here. Yes, I was a little upset at the fact that she was doing so well and everything. I was a little upset about that.
That's natural, though.
That's natural, and that's what I felt. But then I realized something.
She's doing what she set out
She's
to do.
doing what she set out
what
to
you
do,
encouraged her to do,
and what I encouraged her to do. So if I'm not, I should be super proud of the fact that she's doing what she needs to do.
Yes, Charlotte, if you're listening, it's all love.
Charlotte, we love you.
That's all love, and we
Scott
love
Mejia.
Yeah, and this
we love you.
We want to see your growth.
We want to see your growth, and your growth has been amazing.
As it should be.
You took Bitch Boy under. You took a little sewing machine, sewed together a couple of things, and now you're becoming a brand.
Good.
You are now putting yourself out there as the drag queen that you needed to be. And by the way, having Blackberry on, which she facilitated that.
Yeah.
By the way, I did not go out and look for Blackberry.
Right.
She brought Blackberry on the show.
Yes.
She went out and brought all the people on the show that you see in the pictures.
Yes.
She went out and brought those people on the show. And she encouraged me to do the same thing. So now that, even though she's away, and I do miss her.
Of course.
I miss her so much.
Yeah.
I love her so much. But she encouraged me to do the same thing. And now, let me tell you something. The show is taking off.
Hell yeah.
I met Julio, who was, by the way, it was Charlotte.
Who introduced us.
Who introduced us. And it was Charlotte who put us where we need to be.
Yes. And that's what I was going to tell you earlier. Sometimes you have to meet certain people, or certain people come in your life to introduce you to other people, and it's where you take it from there that it grows. Sometimes some people are meant to come in your life for a little bit of time or a long time. Some people are meant to come in and show you a lesson. Some people are meant to like be a bridge. It just depends on who you meet and how you meet them.
But it was Charlotte who took the time to reach out to me and say, hey, let me do the show with you.
Yeah.
And then after we hooked up and everything else, I realized I made the most amazing friendship that I could possibly make, because it has made this show so much better.
Hell yeah, man.
It has made, and she has groomed me to be the best me that I could be. She literally has groomed me to be the best me that I can be. So those are the friends you always want to have around. Yeah, exactly. So for those of you out there who have to ditch friendships because of toxicity and everything else,
but you need those people in your life at the same time. They have to teach you those lessons. They have to show you and make you feel.
No, I just want to say that for those of you, and I've been down that road where I've had to ditch friends.
Yes.
I literally had to ditch a friend who I've known for 10 years.
Oh yeah, me too.
Who I loved more than anything else, because I just couldn't take.
Or ditch the friends that don't like seeing you succeed.
Yeah,
that's even harder.
I literally had to. I literally am now saying this. I had to kick him out because I realized he was not good for me.
Yeah.
And it took 10 years. And somewhere in year 5 or 6, he changed. And I could not understand. I knew he had changed. And I knew this.
And it was time.
And I stood by his side either way because I was trying to hope that he might change back. But no, he changed. And I realized that. And I put up with it for a long time. But then I had to say that, you have to go.
You have to.
You have to go. And I have to let you go because we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I know for those of you out there who are trying to change your life, when you have to let those long-term friendships go because they're no longer good for you, you have to do it.
Yes.
Because guess what I got? I got Charlotte. I got Julio.
Hey.
I got Easton. I got so many people who really want to see me succeed.
Yes.
Who really want to see me grow. And everything else.
And when you're and that's a different mentality too. If that person that's friends with you is not in the same mentality as you are, they won't understand what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They won't get the movement, and so that's why you surround yourself with like-minded people.
Exactly. So just to see these people, like I said, I was going to close the show, and Charlotte came in, swooped in. Charlotte literally swooped in and said, "No, I like your show."
That was divine timing.
I would like to be a part of that.
Had to be.
And no matter what happens with Charlotte, and I told Charlotte, hey, if your career takes off, if all the stuff you takes off, that's fine. But I have that little gay talk show.
Yes. And
you are going to be fun, and I'm going to love you no matter what you do.
Correct. That's being supportive. That's being supportive.
But the fact of the matter is that now I realize that I am backed up by so many different people because Charlotte helped me do that.
She was your key, your bridge. She was your bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, to meet the people that you needed to meet in your timeline to realize these people will help me get to the next step, one way or the other.
Yeah, exactly. Because Charlotte saw that in her, and I saw that in her too.
Yeah. And
I knew that I put the fight in her. When she had her show at Ripcord, I was there for almost as much as I could possibly be at Ripcord. But the fact of the matter is that she has been a part of this community. She loves Houston now.
Hell yeah.
And I think that I might have had a part in that.
Ew.
I think I'm not trying to brag here.
We have a great community, by the way.
Yeah, we do have a great community. I'm not trying to.
Don't get me wrong. It has its moments. Where
it has its moments.
These bitches,
you bartend in it. I occasionally take it.
I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly from our community.
I know. You bartend in it. I am an occasional tourist.
You have to have tough skin to work in our industry.
Yes.
You have to see the shade, the hate, the love, and all combined come in your direction.
You know what Charlotte did for me?
What's that?
She put me in little tiny underwear.
Yeah.
And I posed for pictures. And she showed it on the internet. And I went, I'm okay with that.
That's me, bitch.
That's me.
That's my body.
That's my body.
Positivity.
My body isn't perfect. But the underwear that she made is.
And that's on quad.
That's how much I support her.
Hell yeah.
That's how much I support her.
I love that we support each other. Mm-hmm. And I love that the community supports itself and then we all come together. And trust me, I've seen the community when they come together for the right reasons and all the egos are put to the side.
Yes, exactly.
I've lived a few times within the 5 years I worked in Montrose. I want to say there's 2 or 3 times where I've seen that moment happen, and it's the most beautiful, powerful thing in the fucking world.
It is.
And then as soon as those events are over, people go back to being their bullshit self, and it's like, why can't we do this more often? Where we just come together, stop hating each other, and stop. I get that we're all competition, but at the same time, we're all friends. We're all friendly competitors. Like we should build up and encourage. Instead, it's like love and hate all in one. It's so annoying.
I know. So
that's part of the reason why. And part of the reason I created Pride on the Bridge is to bring the community together.
Exactly.
Literally, it's I never did Pride on the Bridge with any intention of we're gonna make money. No, I always said this is not about. And I've had people approach me, hey, we can turn this event and do this with it. We can put this much money into it. And I say, well, at the end of the day, is it going to become your thing or is it going to overshadow the Pride on the Bridge? Because the Pride on the Bridge is just about showing Houston our pride. That's it.
Can I tell you something?
What's that?
You might want to use that though.
Oh yeah,
And
to an extent. To an extent. And every year, as
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, I'm learning what to draw. Because now, when I get now that I'm getting
because
like,
this is
attention
now I want this to become an annual feature.
Yes.
Before
And it will
Pride,
be. It will
and
be.
I think I think you're on the right path to doing this. So
Yes,
you
but
should be doing
at the
this.
same time, with like when you get sponsorships or you get people to pay for things, they think they own the event now,
Mm-hmm.
or they want to be the number one. It's like no, this is not.
Learn from.
This is not Pride on the Bridge sponsored by XYZ brand.
Here's what I've learned from millennials and Gen Z. If you're going to work with a brand, make sure that you represent who you are.
And that's what I do
And
with
they said the same thing.
And I've told some already to their face, no,
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that because you're not. I had a company that approached me. We want to sponsor. We just put our name on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What have you contributed to the LGBT community? Where's your Pride logo for your monthly feature for your June? Where's your June logo? Because at this point, I'm seeing that I'm one of those people that I saw a lot of companies starting to take
Yeah, exactly.
in the gay community and use the Pride logos. But then now I'm at a point where I was like, okay, well, what have you done for our community? I'm glad that you're representing. I'm glad that you're showing us love, but you're monetizing.
Yeah,
off of the gay
exactly.
community. Besides monetizing us off of us on June, the Pride Month, what are you doing outside of June? Are you actually contributing to charities? Are you helping out LGBT youth? Are you protecting trans men and women? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I've had people come in, yeah, we're going to be this. And I look and I said, well, what's your agenda? That's one of the first few things I say. What's your agenda? Do you support the gay community? How do you support the gay community? Are you just the June and that's it? Or you what's going on? And sometimes, no, well, then no, we can't work together. I'm sorry. I'm not going to water down my event to represent something that doesn't even represent us. That's why I go out of my way when I make this. When I do Pride, when I organize Pride on the Bridge, you have to be within the community. You have to build the community up. And if you're not doing any of that, then I don't need you that bad. I'd rather stay grassroots and nonprofit all the way through, as long as the message that we're putting out is. It's the end goal.
Do you realize that this is why I have you on the show right now? Because you are that person. Yes. You are the person who, that Pride on the Bridge,
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
You better, motherfucker.
And by the way, I wanted to make sure who you were when it came to that. And you literally just did it right now.
Well, thank you, man.
You literally just did it, and you did it for an audience who is going to listen to this and know who you are.
And by the way, the event itself is on Wednesday, June 23rd. We start at 5:30. We'll get there around 5-ish to set up and get it going. But it's from 5 to 7. It's an open invite. It's a non-profit event. It's show up, show your pride, and it's a feel-good event. That's what I always tell people, because when you're doing it, when you're actually standing on that bridge and you are waving, that's when you feel the power of the event. You're like, oh my God, like, Houston, here we are, we're gay, we're proud, love us. And you will get honks, you will get love, you will get the support, you get the waves. We've gotten middle fingers many times from the traffic.
Of course.
Because not everybody's going to agree with your message.
Of course.
And that's okay, and that's fine. And that's why I tell people, like, just, it's open, invite it. And genuinely, at one point, I want to see this event grow to something bigger. That is the end goal. But along the way, it has to be authentic to itself and what it's about. It's not going to be an event where, oh, anybody can sponsor. Yeah, just throw the money at us, and no. It's, what are you doing for the community? Where have you been besides June? Where have you been throughout the year? Have you supported anything? Have you done anything for us? I had a brand that kept approaching, like, yeah, we'll give you the fans, we'll give you shirts, we'll give you hats. And I said, okay, cool. That's all cool, but does none of your gear or merch that you're sending to me has a pride flag anywhere near on it? Why? Oh, it costs us more then I don't want it. If it's going to cost you more to put on a rainbow behind that logo, then I don't want it. I don't need it at the event. This is not Pride on the Bridge featuring XYZ brand. No. You have to legit stand by the gayborhood. You have to stand behind the gay culture one way or the other. Even if it's just in June. Unfortunately, a lot of companies now it's like almost, it's become like a Valentine's Day. Which is fine. I'll take it. It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing.
It's better than fucking nothing.
Here's what I want all those companies to also do. as much as I love being a gay man, and I do,
Yeah.
I need you, all these companies,
Yeah.
to stand behind our transgender sisters and brothers.
Yes.
I need you to do that.
Yes.
I need you to not.
And not only just the month of June, but show us that you're
exactly.
outside of the month of June, all
But
year round.
even. By the way, I'm going to say this. So I know this is going to be weird, but even if it is the month of June, I need you to get behind our transgender brothers and sisters.
Yes.
I need that to happen, because if it happens in the month of June, and you do it once a month in June,
Agreed.
you will do it all the year after that.
Yes.
Because you need to get behind I need this to happen.
Yes.
I need our transgender sisters and brothers to be a part of this. I need that.
Yes.
I need that because I cannot handle being a gay man and not understanding that if it wasn't for transgender
And
people,
seeing the equality goal.
yeah,
all the way
exactly.
around.
I cannot handle that.
If it wasn't for trans people, we wouldn't have pride.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have half the things we have now.
Exactly. So I need this to
Marsha
happen.
P. Johnson, like,
Even if you do it for once a month in June, that's fine. If you put all your focus on transgender people, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
But I need you to be able to get back and do that, because that needs to happen. They need this.
I just want these brands, even national brands,
Mm-hmm.
international brands, don't only come around when it's June. And then, hey, we love the gay people. Hi. Which is, and at the same time, I get it. At least it's something better than nothing. But at the same time, support us all the way around, all year round, 365. Not just in June where you're selling merch with our flag on it and you're making money off of us. You know, where is the love and support all year round?
But I'm not really that concerned about it, because you will support us.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that, like I said,
At least
I
we-
want that love to be extended to the transgender community.
And it is. I feel like at this point in this age, we're seeing more transparency within the trans culture. We're learning a lot. You know, certain shows came out, for example, Pose, that taught us a lot about the transgender community. I learned a lot, but unfortunately, it took me a show to learn about. And knowing some trans people in my life that I've asked questions that say, "Look, I don't know the answer to this. I'm
And
curious."
as
to
a gay
know."
man, I have been around transgender people
Yeah.
my entire life, and
Yeah, they
we
are-
didn't. By the way, we didn't take them seriously at the beginning, but we loved them at the same time.
Right.
So we didn't take them seriously at the beginning, but now that we're seeing transgender people doing their thing, that is exactly what we wanted you to do in the first place. You should have been doing this when we were doing our thing.
Yes.
So, and by the way, you were there at Stonewall.
I was, actually.
You were there at Stonewall. You were there doing the whole thing, and I've seen transgender people doing everything that they need to do when it comes to it. But the fact of the matter is that it's your separate movement. You have to do this,
Yes.
and this is the time
So-
to do it.
So when I do Pride on the Bridge, I do it for the community. I do it to just show Houston our pride outside of Pride Weekend, outside of a parade where it's dedicated just one spot. I want people to see people that are not in the gay community. I want them to see us. I want them to see what we're about and be open to learning about us. Because once through education, through teaching, that's how a lot of these people learn about our community. Or even being in our community with a family member who's gay, they come out and party at our clubs and what. Please come out, do it.
Please come out, because that's what. By the way, I'm going to be there.
Girl, that whiskey is hitting you.
That whiskey is hitting me.
By the way, I brought this whiskey with me, and it's
Okay.
already hitting Joel.
No, but
Get it,
because of you and because of Charlotte, I'm making sure that this is the thing that I do. I need to make sure that
Yes, sir.
I keep it professional.
Of course, and I wanna keep helping the show grow. Like I'm
Yeah.
all about it. I love helping entrepreneurs. I love helping local artists. Like that's something that
But-
drives me. Like giving them a platform.
I know where I'm at, and I know that I might be a little drunk, and I might be.
She lit, y'all.
She
fucking
is lit. She is lit. But I'm doing that simply because I know who I am and everything else.
Yes.
And by the way, I want to say three things
Yep.
about who I am. Who I am is Joel Tatum.
You a bitch. No, sorry. You were saying, I'm sorry.
I love who I am, and that's it.
That's it. Period. And as it should be.
That's it. And I'm okay with it. And I know that I'm not going to do things right or well. And if I meet you in the public,
Yeah.
if I meet you in the public and I see certain things in you, don't take offense.
Right.
But if I see certain things in you, I'm going to turn you down because that's what it's going to happen.
Agreed.
But I'm happy with who I am, and you should be happy with who you are.
That too.
And I do not want anybody out there, when it comes to the idea of who you are, to understand this. Be happy with who you are.
Yes.
Because there are two people across the table who are super happy with who they are.
Yeah.
And even if their life...
we're not perfect. Let's put that
We're
out
not
there.
perfect.
We're happy with who we are because we worked on ourselves to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not perfect. We're not angels. We are perfectly imperfect, as I always like to say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of the progress. That's part of the work. That's part of the journey.
Do
That's
your
It's an
thing.
uphill battle every single time.
Do your thing.
Balancing not only
Learn who you are and do your thing. And
I
if
always call
doing
it-
your thing means
balancing yourself, mind, body, and spirit.
yeah, do that because that's
Period.
what you're gonna do. And we're gonna. And by the way, everybody in this room does that.
Yes.
So do your thing. Learn who you are and do that thing.
So what do you think, girl? You think it's time?
I think it's time.
It's good.
It's good. And
we had a good episode.
we
by
had
the
a
way.
good- we had a great episode.
Great talk. We always have great talks, and I love that. I love that about us. Thank you for allowing me to come on this platform as well. Because you thanked me a lot, but now it's my turn to thank you. Thank you for letting me come on this platform. Thank you for allowing me to express myself through this forum.
like I said,
And
it's more in the line of, for me, and I want everybody who's listening to the show to understand something. When you find someone who supports what you want to do,
yeah,
it's an amazing experience.
yes,
Whether, I don't know, whatever you want to do in your life,
yeah,
whatever you want to do in your life, find people who help you do what you need to do.
people who will meet you and elevate you all in one.
That's
Will
what
help
you need to
grow.
do.
Yes, agree with that.
So do that.
And then before we sign off, by the time this episode comes out, June 23rd,
Oh no!
Pride on the Bridge starts at 5:30. It's open invitation. You bring your Pride gear. Let's show Houston what we're made out of.
Yes, please bring your Pride gear.
We have DJ Easton actually is going to be there from.
Yes.
He's going to bring out his out and proud car. He's going to play music for us while we're there.
Wait a minute,
I also
DJ
have-
Easton's going to be there.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh Lord,
He's going to be there. And then I also have two other artists, Vincent Negron,
Mm-hmm.
and I have Milton Lara. They're coming out selling merch. They're accepting donations for their merch. And so they're going to be out there. It's going to be a cute little event. Like I said, one day I hope to see this grow into something bigger than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That is, and I think after this year, it's where I think I'm going to see the growth. And next year I'm going to do my due diligence to get access to the roads and things like that. To make it a successful event, man. I want this to become a Houston tradition. I really do. If I leave any mark in Houston, I want this to be it.
no, you already left a mark. And by the way, you've left a mark on the show. You've left a mark in so many ways. So, Julio Bricinio, you guys go visit him on which days?
I'm usually there Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 9 to 2.
And by the way,
9
he's
p.m. to
also
2 a.m.
part of the show. So yeah, you're going to hear him on this show.
Yeah.
And we are really very happy that
Likewise.
you're here.
Thank you, man.
And
I'm appreciative of this platform as well. So thank you.
so we're gonna close it out,
Heck yeah,
and
we are.
and we're done.
And
So
so I love you guys. Happy Pride. Y'all be careful, be safe out there, and I hope to see you out on the 23rd.
This show is sponsored by Tubi's Woodworking. Tubi gives you wood. Also brought to you by Bitch Boy Undies. Get you a pair or else. You can follow the show on most social media at That Little Gay Talk Show. check out the website at lilgaytalks.com. Music and vocals by Jamie D of Diamond Cut Entertainment.